let me try to be as diplomatic as I can. So that we are not out there, we are not here to make their work difficult. I try to draw their attention to some of these concerns because they've been lingering for far too long. They've been lingering for far too long. And this is the Parliament of Ghana. You have to change your mindset about the 24-hour economy concept. Oh yes. Oh yes. You yourself, you don't seem to buy into the 24-hour economy concept. So because his presentation is laced with a certain confused approach towards the 24-hour economy. How do you tell me that a motion that was advertised before he rose should still be on the paper and you are still advertising it? Meanwhile, you are not ready. Your report, I'm not talking about only the 77 copies of report. There are other reports that are ready. Even the one that concern housekeeping matters. They are all ready. You are not taking them. Meanwhile, you are holding high, saying that you are the 24-hour economy. I want to beg him. Let's tone down. I'll tone down. I want to conclude. You see, we want to help you to succeed, but you yourself must help yourself.
Frank is okay. So, honorable members, we turn to questions.
We will proceed. But he should proceed on a tangent of understanding what the 24-hour economy is. Yes. You can't just come and talk about one breath 24-hour economy, another breath you're wobbling your leg.
Honorable members, please.
He's wobbling his leg.
Let's hold on with 24-hour economy.
24-hour economy. Look at somebody with Diagro. Show us your readiness. He should show us his readiness to prosecute the agenda of 24-hour economy.
Well.
That's what you should be doing.
Well.
Speaker, the Deputy Finance Minister
has been around
for some time and wants to. Otherwise, he knows that we are operating around the clock, 24 hours. We are even asking God for more. You know.
Yes. So, honorable members, we are beginning with question 259. Question 259. And the owner of the question, a member from Offenso South, Honorable Isaac Yao Opoku. Doc, you have the floor now.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Finance what steps the Ministry is taking to pay input suppliers who supplied agrochemicals and fertilizers to Cocoa Board for the cocoa mass spraying and high-tech programs between 2021 and 2024. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Well. Honorable Minister, you have the floor now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Finance is not responsible for the payment of input suppliers who supplied agrochemicals and fertilizers to Cocoa Board. But, Mr. Speaker, Cocoa Board procured excessive quantities of fertilizers and agrochemicals beyond its financial capacity between 2021 and 2024. This mismanagement of Cocoa Board finances made it impossible to pay the suppliers by the previous management of Cocoa Board. For the 2021-2022 crop year, a total of $455.7 million was procured. Meanwhile, $312.8 million was provisioned in their budget. The agrochemicals procured for the 2021-2022 season were not paid for, but Cocoa Board continued to procure additional quantities in 2022, 2023, and 2024, all of which were above the budgeted amount in each year. For instance, In the 2023-24 season, while $76.5 million was provisioned in the budget, Cocoa Board contracted about $668.6 million in agrochemicals. Mr. Speaker, ironically, while procurement of fertilizers and agrochemicals was increasing, cocoa production was declining, raising questions as to what these fertilizers and agrochemicals were used for. Mr. Speaker, Cocoa Board indebtedness to suppliers of fertilizers and agrochemicals between 2021 and 2024 is part of a much larger financial challenge inherited in the cocoa sector. Mr. Speaker, from January 2026 to date, Cocoa Board has paid a total of $74.5 million for agrochemicals and fertilizer suppliers. Cocoa Board is approaching the issue systematically. The strategy is to restore Cocoa Board's financial capacity so that it can honor its obligations to all creditors, including agrochemical dealers, in a sustainable and transparent manner. That is why government has adopted a number of reforms and policy measures to restore the financial health of Cocoa Board and build a sustainable financing model so that Cocoa Board can honor its obligation to all creditors, including suppliers of agrochemicals and fertilizers. Mr. Speaker, government is fixing the system so that suppliers are paid not once, but always, predictably, transparently, and on time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes. Honorable Dr. Poku.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Speaker, can the Minister give any assurance as to the time frame to cover all outstanding debts between the said period?
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it will be very difficult to give any specific time frame, but the assurance is that Cocoa Board and the government is doing everything possible to clear the arrears over a period of time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, we turn to question 168. Question 168. It stands in the name of a member from Abuakwa South, Honorable Dr. Kingsley Ajiman. Yes.
Speaker, I come under Order 8083.
Come again?
I come under Order 8083 to ask the question.
We've already cleared that.
Okay.
The omnibus permission has been granted, so you just go ahead.
Most grateful, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the Minister for Finance, following the implementation of VAT or non-life insurance, what measures have been put in place to mitigate the potential decline in demand for non-life insurance products, example fire, which have become even more relevant during the recent fire outbreak? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me state clearly that VAT on non-life insurance was introduced through an Act of Parliament in 2023 and came into effect in 2024. However, the previous government failed to collect the tax because of the 2024 elections. Mr. Speaker, in 2025, Act 1107 was amended to exclude motor insurance, which constitutes about 40% of non-life insurance, in line with the NDC's manifesto to lessen the burden and incidence of the tax on trotro drivers, taxi drivers, and other commercial drivers, including Aboboya, Pragya, and Okada riders. Mr. Speaker, we can all attest that the demand for insurance is inextricably linked to broader economic conditions. This government has therefore established the enabling macroeconomic environment required for long-term financial sector growth. Mr. Speaker, I can state that as a result, and contrary to fears of a decline, non-life business line subject to the VAT recorded a robust 17% growth in insurance revenue by the close of 2025, rising from 3.13 billion Ghana cedis in 2024 to 3.65 billion Ghana cedis in 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, any supplementary question?
Rightly so, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want the minister to take note that his statement that the insurance on non-life introduced in 2023 was not implemented by the previous government because of 2024 elections is not factual. It is not true and inaccurate that the previous government failed because of elections. There were stakeholder engagement that did not complete at the time. So please, for purposes of this
Honourable Member, can you ask the question?
That is so, but Mr. Speaker, it's important that there's a house of record, and it is inappropriate for the minister to state that it is because the
Honourable Member, you can ask a question that will
Mr.
solicit.
Speaker, rightly so.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, first, I want to ask the minister, what exactly did the previous government do in terms of the implementation of the VAT on non-life insurance in 2024? Please.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, the previous administration passed the law. They brought it to Parliament. Parliament passed it, but they failed to collect the taxes. And the reason is that it was an election year, and so they realized it was unpopular to introduce a new
Honourable
tax,
Minister,
and they didn't do it.
Don't you think you are inviting unnecessary?
Okay, Mr. Speaker, they failed to collect the taxes.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
So once you jump into that, then you inviting on. You see, if you have not said this, you wouldn't have. Yes, leader.
Let me draw the attention of our good friend, the Deputy Minister, who he says, Mr. Speaker,
Right Honourable Speaker, I believed when the procedure is set down for a right to be exercised, we follow that procedure in exercising the right. The standing order is very clear. That supplementary question must begin with the questioner. Now the questioner is on his feet to ask a supplementary question. And then you are coming in. Are we going by the rules?
Well, that is. Now I thought. So leader. Yes, but no, fine, but any member can draw my attention if I'm not actually going by the. But leader, I'll come to you. Let me exhaust the owner of the question and others. Then the leader will take the last lot. Yes,
Mr. Speaker, can the Deputy Finance Minister, can the Minister share with this House any official document that speaks to the fact that the previous government failed because of the 2024 elections? That is based on his answer. If there's any official document to support his statement.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, is he asking for an official document from the then government that they... Mr. Speaker, you see, once Parliament passes a law, it is for us to implement it. If you fail to implement it, and Mr. Speaker, look, the liability has accrued because when Parliament passed the law, we did not defer the implementation. As soon as the President assented to it, it became functional. and it was incumbent on you at GRA, you were at GRA then, to start the collection, but you failed to do it. Tell us the reason why you failed to do it. Thank you, Mr.
Honorable Deputy Minister, for me, you answered the question nicely, but that bit that you added, that is bringing all this confusion.
The last question. I'll proceed with my second question. Mr. Speaker, the minister indicated in his last paragraph that contrary to fears of decline, non-life insurance recorded a robust 17% growth in insurance, and he gave us the numbers. But the question is talking about reduction in subscription. Once you have taxed the thing, the revenue can go up, but it is about the subscription numbers. Can you help this house, irrespective of the increase in revenue, the slight increase in revenue, whether the introduction of this tax has led to a reduction in subscription of non-life insurance? Thank you.
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, yes, what the number I gave was not the revenue that was derived as a result of the imposition of the VAT. The 3.13 billion in 2024 was actually the subscription for non-life insurance. That is what has risen by that amount to 3.65 billion, and not the VAT revenue from insurance. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me go to Dr. Kabiru.
Mr. Speaker, the minister was asked a question. Mr. Speaker, I want to lay this foundation before I ask my question, if you indulge me, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the question was to ask the Minister for Finance, following the implementation of VAT on non-life insurance, what measures have been put in place to mitigate the potential decline in demand for non-life insurance products? Mr. Speaker, the answer, with the greatest respect, does not address the question. And the question that
Honorable Kabila, I wouldn't take it.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, then
probably to you, it doesn't.
Mr. Speaker, I'll go ahead to ask my question. My question is,
ask your question, yes.
Before the non-life VAT, there was zero revenue for that tax handler. Because the minister tell us the number of subscribers that are being rolled onto the VAT net following the implementation of this particular program, the number of people that have been subscribed to this particular, not the figure, because obviously if it's increased by 1, it's going to increase the revenue by 1. I mean, in parity of reasoning. So can you tell us the number of subscribers that the government has been able to bring into the tax net by way of non-life insurance following the implementation of this particular program?
Honorable Minister, do you have the numbers?
Mr. Speaker, I do not have the numbers readily available, but NIC can always give us the numbers. And so if the honorable member is minded, he can file a specific question for that, and I can get the data for this house. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minority Chief Whip.
Speaker, let me plead for your indulgence. So I want to read Order 89 to you.
Order
89.
89, yes.
89. Speaker, amongst others, Order 89 says, as soon as a question is answered, any member beginning with the member who asks the question may, without notice, ask a supplementary question for further clarification of any matter of fact on the answer. But a supplementary question shall not introduce a matter not included in the original question. 89.2. The member who asks a question may be allowed to ask, may be allowed to ask not more than 3 supplementary questions. So I'm basically saying, and this is not to spite the first deputy, I respect him a lot. But the point must be made that to allow a member to make a follow-up is at the discretion of the speaker. It is not mandatory. No, it is not sharp. The member may be allowed to make supplementary So, Speaker, I on any event, I was not wrong to have come in on and you noticing me.
Leader.
I'm not sure I have flattered or I've gone wrong on any of the rules. I'm basically saying that we are all learning. And for the records, for you to have allowed me to speak, it is not against the rules. It is not. It's not. And I emphasize that it is not against the rules. Speaker, you could have allowed the member to ask his follow-up. And you decided to vary it and say that you are in leadership. Make your point. I think we are within the rules.
Personally.
Yes, right, Honorable Speaker. I think this is a house of record. We need to get our standing orders right. The Order 89-2 that he's reading refers to the discretion of the Speaker to allow up to 3 questions. That is what the provision is talking about. Now, the issue that I raise has got to do with Order 89-1. And with your permission, if I may read, as soon as a question is answered, any member, beginning with the member who asks the question. So supplementary question must begin with the member who asks the question. So you cannot read 2, which refers to the number of questions that the Speaker may use a discretion to allow a member to ask with Order 89-1. They are completely different things.
Honorable First Deputy Speaker, I don't think we need to split our head. Personally, I cited Honorable Ano. I thought he was on point of order. So that is why but if it is a question, normally we exhaust the owner of the question, then we come back. Normally we even give the last slot to leaders because they can even submit a question, they can even ask more than 1 questions. So I don't think we.
It's okay. I'm not a litigant. I'm a very friendly. Everybody knows in this I'm friendly. I would always defer to the Speaker. Speaker, I always defer to you. I just thought I should make my thoughts also known about this. Speaker, if you permit me, let me read part of his answers.
So now you are asking.
Now my question.
Well.
Honorable Ampem, if I may quote, I think the first paragraph. Mr. Speaker, let me state clearly that VAT on non-life insurance was introduced through an Act of Parliament in 2023 and came into effect in 2024. However, the previous government failed to collect the tax because of the 2024 election. Because this matter has been back and forth. This is a house of records. Can the minister give us evidence to this statement, or it was something he just said in jest?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, leader is repeating the question that was asked, and I answered by saying that this House passed the law, and once it is passed without deferring the implementation, you were under the obligation to collect it. As we speak now, that liability has accrued. GRA can get up and say that for all this period, you owe and you should pay. Why did you not collect it when you passed it and also got the president to assent to it? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker, our friend should just understand. He should know, he should be careful what to say in this house. You said because of the election, and now we are telling you provide evidence and you are dancing around your statement. Give us evidence why you said that we were not able to collect it because of the election. Give us evidence. Speaker, he should do the needful. He's a gentleman. Otherwise, just withdraw and proceed. Roxy, what are you going to say? Are you the Minister of Finance? Are you the Minister of Finance?
Roxy, let's hear you.
Speaker, within the terms of Order 87 and 88.7, which, Mr. Speaker, with your leave, let me read. A member in asking a question, including supplementary question, shall not address the House, raise any argument, cannot be argumentative, or offer an opinion. Mr. Speaker, my brother, the minority chief whip, has breached all the three and is badgering the deputy finance minister. So I believe that flowing from the answer provided by the deputy finance minister, he may actually ask another supplementary or file a substantive question to which the finance minister will come and respond in clear terms. But he's badgering, he's being argumentative, he's offering opinion, and he wants to address the house. We should depart. I agree that he wants to depart from. But you should depart from being argumentative, from addressing the house, and from offering an opinion.
Honorable Hips, the Hips, you are helping us to manage the house, please. The two Hips, you have the responsibility to help us. So we turn to question 93. Question 93. Honorable Member for Wa West. Honorable Member for Wa West. Honorable Peter Tebu. You have the floor now.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Finance, when the men and women who retired voluntarily from the various security services since 2016, in line with Article 1992 and 3 of the 1992 Constitution, will be placed on monthly pension. Thank you.
Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me begin by clarifying the fundamental principle that governs the matter before this House. The pension arrangement applicable to many officers of the security services is the Cap 30 pension scheme. Unlike the Social Security and National Insurance Trust pension scheme, Cap 30 is non-contributory. Officers do not contribute towards their pension benefits during their years of service. The entire pension liability is therefore borne directly by the state and funded from the consolidated fund. Mr. Speaker, under the Cap 30 framework, retiring officers are paid a gratuity equivalent to approximately 75% of their computed pension benefit. The remaining 25% of the benefit is paid out as monthly pension over a 20-year period beginning from the date of compulsory retirement. Mr. Speaker, the challenge we face arises because a significant number of officers across the security services opt to retire voluntarily as early as age 45. After receiving their gratuities, many proceed to take up other employment, sometimes even within the public service. The consequence, Mr. Speaker, is that the state may be required to pay a full pension to an individual who is simultaneously drawing a salary from another public institution. This situation raises legitimate concerns about equity, fiscal sustainability, and the responsible use of public funds. It was precisely to address this issue that the Comptroller and Accountant General's Department issued an administrative circular on 21st June 2021, acting in accordance with Section 8.3 and Section 8.4b of the Public Financial Management Act 2016, Act 921. Mr. Speaker, these provisions place a clear responsibility on government to ensure that public funds are managed prudently, responsibly, and in accordance with the law. The circular, which clarified the policy position, is still in force and states as follows. I, voluntary retirement does not trigger immediate payment of monthly pension benefits under Cap 30. And 2, an officer who voluntarily retires from the security services becomes eligible for monthly pension only upon reaching the age of 60, which is the recognized retirement age under the scheme. Mr. Speaker, this policy ensures that the CAP 30 pension scheme continues to function as a social protection mechanism for old age, rather than becoming a vehicle for premature pension payments while beneficiaries remain actively employed elsewhere. Mr. Speaker, let me emphasize that this policy is not a denial of pension rights. It is simply a mechanism designed to protect the sustainability of a non-contributory pension system financed entirely by the Ghanaian taxpayer. There are, however, carefully defined exceptions. Officers who are released from service on medical grounds or under other exceptional circumstances may have their cases considered administratively on their individual merit. Mr. Speaker, I should also clarify that this policy does not apply to retired officers of the Ghana Armed Forces whose tenure is determined by fixed terms of service. The CAP 30 pension scheme is funded entirely from the Consolidated Fund, and therefore every decision concerning it must balance the rights of retirees with the duty of government to protect national finances. Mr. Speaker, we deeply recognize the invaluable service rendered by the men and women of our security services. They protect our borders, safeguard our communities, and defend our constitutional order. It is equally required as custodians of the public purse to ensure that pensions policies remain fair, sustainable, and consistent with the principles of sound public financial management. In summary, Mr. Speaker, an officer who voluntarily retires from the security services will receive the applicable gratuity, but monthly pension payments will commence only when that officer attains the age of 60, except in clearly defined exceptional circumstances. Mr. Speaker, this policy protects both the integrity of the pension system and the interests of the Ghanaian taxpayer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Honorable member, any supplementary question?
Mr. Speaker, the answer is so comprehensive, but I still need to seek clarification on a few things. On page 48 of the order paper, in your answer, the second paragraph, it says, after receiving their gratuities, many proceed to take up other employment, sometimes even within the public service. Mr. Speaker, the question is, with the advent of the National Identification Authority, the Ghana card system, linked to our tax identification numbers, is it still possible that somebody can retire, get into another public office, and will not be detected? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I'm sure the person, it will be detected. If the person retires from the police service and becomes a member of parliament, it will be noted. But what we are saying is that in order to protect the public finances, we cannot continue to pay pensions for people who decide to retire voluntarily at an earlier age. Some retire at 40, at 45. And even if they are not doing public businesses, they may be doing some private businesses and earning income. They are actively engaged in doing other things. And so we, in the face of fairness, the administrative directive is that you start getting the monthly payments when you attain the age of 60. As for your gratuity, you will get it immediately, but you begin to get the monthly payment only after attaining the age of 60. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Peter Nuchu.
Mr. Speaker, page 49 of the order paper. In your answer again, Mr. Minister, I quote, there are, however, carefully defined exceptions. Officers who are released from service on medical grounds or under other exceptional circumstances may have their cases considered administratively on their individual merits. This is quite encouraging. The question is, do we have defined administrative regulations to ensure that this doesn't become capricious? Do we have defined administrative regulation to ensure that this is followed to the core? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, and we have evidence of some security officers who, on the peculiarity of their issues, have been granted this, and their monthly payments are paid. Some on medical grounds, some even suffered in line of duty, and as a result, the state has to continue to cater for them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, last one.
Mr. Speaker, the men and women in uniform listening to this answer will be excited. And we want to thank the Honourable Minister. We are grateful.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honourable Member for Kwesi. Efia.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Mr. Speaker, from the Minister's response towards the tail end at page 50, where the Minister said payment will only commence when officers attain the age of 60, except otherwise defined in exceptional circumstances. The Constitution, Article 199, 1 and 2, speaks explicitly on the retirement age between 60 and those who can retire at 45. So this administrative decision or position that you've taken, don't you see it in conflict with the constitutional provision in terms of the payment of pension for officers?
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, we do not see it to be in conflict with the provision that he read. And as I read in my response, this is an administrative decision that was taken in June 2021, and we have sustained it. We just announced that it is still in force. The mere fact that a government has changed doesn't mean government decisions are also truncated. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, return to question 196. Question 196. I was looking at your place, I was not finding you. Honourable
Mr. Speaker, I am enjoying my momentary elevation as the available leader.
To leadership.
So that's why you can't find me there.
So you have the floor now.
Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Finance the alternative financing measures being implemented to support indigenous license buying companies in the absence of syndicated loan and associated seed funding for the year 2025 and 2026 cocoa seasons. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me place in context why the Honourable Member believes we need an alternative financing measure. The syndicated loan system failed under the watch of the previous managers of Cocoa Board after 32 years of successful implementation. As a result, in the 2024-2025 and 2025-26 cocoa seasons, the Cocoa Board operated a buyer-led pre-financing model. This funding model is entirely dependent on a buyer's willingness to bear the financing costs and to pre-finance the purchase of cocoa. The key motivation for buyers in the previous season was the rollover contract, which were priced at about $2,661 when the existing market prices were above $8,000 per ton. Once the gap between the rollover contract and the market price closed and majority of the rollover contracts were serviced, the buyer's appetite for pre-financing the purchase of the cocoa reduced. Mr. Speaker, in light of these limitations, government has adopted a new funding model for cocoa purchases with associated benefits for increasing processing. The model will mobilize domestic resources to purchase cocoa and repay with cocoa proceeds within each year. The model will be used to raise a revolving fund for Cocoa Board to turn around at least once during the season. This model will revive the indigenous license buying companies that have been completely thrown out of business as a result of the current financing model. With this model, Cocoa Board can sell beans of any volume to local processing companies and can also process and sell value-added products instead of the raw beans. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Dr. Kabilo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my first supplementary question is to ask for elucidation on the failure under the previous management of Cocoa Board. What in the ministry's assessment was the cause of the failure of the previous or the last indicated loan in respect for the indigenous produce buying companies? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the economic condition in the country at the time made it unattractive for lenders to lend to Cocoa Board, even though Cocoa Board had the track record of being able to assess those loans. And so Cocoa Board failed to assess any financing for the purchase of cocoa. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Kabilo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. The second question I have is in respect of the new model. The minister, in his response, says that they have adopted a new model for cocoa purchases with associated benefit for increased processing, and the model will mobilize domestic resources to purchase cocoa and repay with cocoa proceeds within each year. Mr. Speaker, my question is on just this last statement I have read. Can the minister educate us on this new modeling, how the domestic resources mobilization is going to be like, for the purposes of the clarity to this answer?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is intended that Cocoa Board will issue a commercial paper and will use that funds to purchase cocoa in and retire within a year. And so in both the main and lean seasons, the funds generated from the proceeds from the commercial paper will be used to purchase the cocoa. And we say this will give us the flexibility. Once we are not getting money from any buyer to buy the cocoa and we are raising the funds locally to do so, we will then be able to determine what quantity of our beans we give to our local processing companies that are lying idle. And Mr. Speaker, in the next coming weeks, we are coming to this House with details of this arrangement for the House to consider and give approval for its implementation. So, Honourable Member will have the opportunity to peruse it and also make input into it. But the general arrangement is what I have explained. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Mr. Speaker, my last supplementary question is regarding, I like the comfort the minister has given. Do I also get further assurances that that loan or that commercial paper that we are going to generate domestically is not going to be foreign denominated? It's going to be local Ghanaian CD denominated facility that they are supposed to use, Mr. Speaker?
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, rightly so, and as I said, it is coming to this House, and so honourable members will have the opportunity to peruse it and also make input. Thank you.
Question 197. 197. That's from while we go to Nsuom Kwanta, Honourable Twembo Akudua Foku.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the Minister for Finance the extent to which the fiscal policies have fulfilled the expected economic recovery promises outlined in the National Democratic Congress's manifesto. Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as indicated in the 2024 National Democratic Congress manifesto, our solemn promise to the good people of Ghana was clear and simple: to stabilize the macroeconomy, drive inclusive growth, stabilize the cedi, and maintain price stability, among others. Mr. Speaker, when we assumed office, we were confronted with an economy in distress, characterized by gross fiscal indiscipline, high inflation rate, and a rapidly depreciating currency. Indeed, the situation was critical and the outlook was undeniably grim. In the face of these undeniable facts, we made a firm promise to Ghanaians to reverse this trajectory, and we have delivered on that promise. Today, we have steadily steered the economy back to stability and growth. Mr. Speaker, to achieve this, we outlined a comprehensive set of strategic and robust measures in the 2025 and 2026 budget statements and economic policy. Mr. Speaker, these measures aimed to reduce the fiscal deficit to sustainable levels, support debt sustainability, and restore macroeconomic stability. Among the measures are the following: establish the Ghana Gold Board to stem gold smuggling, improve foreign exchange inflows, and strengthen reserve accumulation. Abolish nuisance taxes such as the 1% electronic transfer levy, the 10% withholding tax on lottery and gaming winnings, and the 1% COVID-19 health recovery levy to bring relief to households and businesses and improve the efficiency of the tax system. Abolish the emission levy and industries and vehicles. Reduce the effective VAT rate from 21.9% to 20%. Increase the VAT registration threshold from 200,000 cedis to 750,000 cedis, relieving small businesses of unnecessary compliance burdens. Extended VAT zero rating on locally manufactured textiles to 2028. Abolish the VAT on mineral reconnaissance and prospecting activities to attract investment. Amended the Public Procurement Act to make commitment authorization and budgetary provisions prerequisites for all procurements. Amended the PFM Act to introduce fiscal and debt rules that strengthen fiscal discipline and anchor medium-term debt sustainability. Establish an independent fiscal council to enhance oversight, improve transparency, and ensure credible monitoring of compliance with fiscal targets, thereby reinforcing policy credibility and supporting macroeconomic stability. Uncap key statutory funds under the Earmark Funds Capping and Realignment Act 2025 to increase allocation to fund priority programs in the education, healthcare, and infrastructure sectors. Established a value for money office to provide independent oversight and guarantee that public expenditure delivers real value. Fully integrate GANEPS with GIFMIS to strengthen procurement transparency and expenditure control, and conducted a payroll cleanup exercise to eliminate ghost names and contain the public sector wage bill. Mr. Speaker, the implementation of government's fiscal policies and reforms underpinned by strong fiscal discipline and enhanced efficiency in public expenditure management has resulted in the significant economic turnaround being witnessed, as reflected in the marked improvements across key macroeconomic indicators, including real GDP growth of 6% in 2025, accelerating further to 6.4% in the first quarter of 2026. Inflation declining sharply from 23.8% in 2024 to 5.4% at the end of 2025, and further to 3.7% in May 2026. Interest rates falling sharply, with the 91-day Treasury bill rate dropping from 27.7% at the end of 2024 to 11.1% in December 2025, and further to 5% in June 2026. The primary balance on commitment basis improving significantly from a deficit of 3% of GDP in 2024 to a surplus of 2.6% of GDP in 2025, and a surplus of 1.2% of GDP by the end of first quarter 2026. Public debt declining sharply from 61.8% of GDP in 2024 to 44.7% of GDP in 2025, and further down to 42.2% of GDP as at the end of February 2026. The current account posting a surplus of $9.1 billion at the end of 2025, up from only $1.5 billion in 2024. The cedi appreciating by 40.7% against the US dollar, 30.9% against the British pound, and 24% against the euro in 2025. And gross international reserves increasing to 13.8 billion United States dollars, representing 5.7 months of import cover, up from 8.9 billion dollars, equivalent to 4 months of import cover in 2024. Mr. Speaker, in line with the rate-setting agenda, government has stayed true to its pledge to Ghanaians. The economy has responded positively to the fiscal policy measures and macroeconomic reforms by government, resulting in lower cost of living for the ordinary Ghanaian, in line with the economic recovery promises of the NDC. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Yes. Supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Minister for such an elaborate response. But Minister, I have some supplementary questions for you. Minister, I would like to know how many sustainable jobs you have created directly as a result of these fiscal policies, and what sectors account for these jobs, given that currently youth unemployment levels is at 34.4% as given by the Ghana Statistical Services. Thank you.
Minister, you have the figures. Okay.
Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, the question did not ask about the number of jobs that have been created, and so I'm unable to give figures. Government recognizes that youth unemployment continues to be a problem in this country, and so we are doing everything possible to improve on the situation. But if you are minded to file another question on employment, we will gather figures and come and show this House, and we'll also demonstrate what we are doing more. There is always a time lag between when an economic policy is implemented and when the effects of the policies are actually felt in the economy. We have restored the macroeconomic environment, and what follows is for businesses to expand. In fact, Mr. Speaker, a lot of businesses have returned to profitability following the macroeconomic improvement that we saw in this country. And once they've returned to profitability, they can plow back, reinvest, expand, and employ a lot more people than they are doing today. And so it's a gradual process, and we will not relent. We will make sure that we continue to work to reduce unemployment in this country. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. Mr. Speaker, this supplementary question that I asked, it's in line with the main question that I asked, because the crust of my question was about fiscal policies.
Honorable member, ask a different question. He says unemployment figures he can't give.
Okay,
right?
That is fair enough. If he hasn't, gotten the response yet, but to say that they are not related, that one, I think they are really
I'm not saying they are not related, but you brought him here for a specific question. Now you are asking him as to whether the policies have generated certain employment figures. He said he doesn't have them at hand.
No, fair enough.
And it's fair.
He hasn't got the figures here now, but you can provide it later, Minister. That is fair enough. My second supplementary question, Minister, notwithstanding the macroeconomic indicators that you gave earlier on elaborately, what evidence can you provide to the ordinary Ghanaian that there has been real reduction in cost of living, given that now we know that the cost of electricity is going up, the cost of water is going up effective July. What can you tell the ordinary Ghanaian with all the elaborate improvement in economic figures that you just gave? What can you tell the ordinary Ghanaian?
Yes,
Thank
Honorable
you.
Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I can tell the ordinary Ghanaian, and in fact, I don't even need to tell the ordinary Ghanaian. They can attest to the fact that inflation has gone down. Prices are not increasing at the rate at which we saw in 2024. In fact, the cedi has stabilized. Every Ghanaian is aware of this. And they can attest to the fact that even prices of some commodities have gone down compared to what they were in 2024. These are things that Ghanaians live to witness. In fact, it is not for me to tell Ghanaians. Ghanaians are attesting to this themselves. And so these are the facts, and Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, thank you.
Your last question.
No, just a bit of response to...
I'm saying you are asking your last supplementary question.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I would like to ask the Minister if his ministry could provide some comprehensive scorecards, independently verifiable, that would show the implementation of all these economic programs that he's spoken about, where we are currently, the promises that were made versus where we are. If we could have some scorecards that could be independently verified. Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, if the honorable member wants a scorecard that could be independently verified, I don't think the same ministry that is delivering should be the one to provide it. I think that civil society or other institutions, institutions of higher learning, can take some of these things upon themselves to do. Civil society can do. That can be trusted more than a politician like me bringing a scorecard and coming to tell you, my opponent, that this was your score, this is the score today. Because, I mean, you know the environment under which we operate. So I accept that challenge, but I wish it won't come from us. I wish a neutral body would do it. And in fact, there are a number of them we can point to. Credit rating agencies have been rating us, and you know what our sovereign rating was in 2024. You know what it is today. These are verified. These are trusted scorecards that we can have to display. But as I said, I feel that an independent body will be the best to do what you are asking the ministry to do. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yes, Nana Ajay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Deputy Finance Minister has given some macroeconomic indicators. Some are declining and moving in a positive way. I would like to find out from him. The market women they promised, the Women's Development Bank, are still borrowing around 20% to 22%, although interest rates are falling and T-bill rates are falling. I want to find out from him, when will our market women be borrowing below 15% and below? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, I know institutions that are lending below 15% today. Interest rates are reducing significantly. So, and there is no question about that. You know that interest rate today is far lower than they were more than a year and a half ago. And so be assured that we will continue to work hard to bring down interest rate so that our market women will benefit. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Lastly, let me give it to Damango.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let me thank the Honorable Minister for his answers and for dwelling on two important matters of employment and cost of living. Mr. Speaker, there will always be calm after the storm, and the statistics the Minister is talking about are not what I intend to go into, but to say to him that everything was obviously on a downward trend since 2022 downwards, so it's nothing particularly extraordinary. But to point to the Minister and ask him that Ghana Statistical Service report and other reports has indicated that Q1 budgetary performance and execution is the lowest since 2016. And I have the figures here. Q1, you plan to spend some 90 billion Ghana cedis. You spent 73 billion Ghana cedis, a deficit of 24 billion Ghana cedis, the worst since 2016. And so the question is, in the light of the figures the Minister has churned out and the reality of purchasing power, which is dwindled by several statistics and data, cost of living and employment, what measures is the Ministry of Finance putting in place to ensure that we have a much more effective budgetary execution and performance? So, Mr. Speaker, as to ensure that the private sector is properly liquidated to deal with employment and cost of living, what is the Ministry of Finance doing to deal with budgetary performance? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister.
My good friend made a statement that purchasing power has reduced. That is not accurate. But on budget performance, I will tell you that in just a couple of weeks, the finance minister will be in this house to present the mid-year budget review. And you will realize that contrary to what you are thinking, budget performance is on course. So just be patient. You will see that very soon. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
No. Nana, I wouldn't give you a platform again. Yes.
Mr. Speaker, the House is a House of records. Inflation is in the positive, and the Minister making a categorical statement that purchasing power has improved. Factually, it cannot be right, because you cannot have positive inflation and you say because of power. So, Mr. Speaker, I want that. It's not about argument. Mr. Speaker.
You see, the minister has come out with his answers. If you don't believe it, that is. But to say the minister's answers cannot be right, I don't think.
Mr. Speaker, I'm guided. The issue is other as whether if a member could raise point of information or point of order if a member is being misled during questioning. That's a different matter that your house would have to determine. That if a minister comes before us and is giving information which seems to be misleading, and a member can come under point of information or order, that's a different. But Mr. Speaker, I would want to ask the minister, in the light of the fact that inflation is positive, in the light of the fact that exchange rate is depreciating, the statement as stated by the minister that purchasing power of Ghanaians has improved, can it be substantiated by that particular facts are presented to him, Mr. Speaker?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the response was in context. The questioner was, in fact, I appreciate his question because as long as inflation is positive, it means that prices are increasing. But prices are increasing today at a lower rate than it was in 2024. So that is what I was telling my good brother, that it is not the case that purchasing power has worsened today as compared to when he was a minister. That is the position I'm making. That purchasing power was completely eroded under your tenure when inflation was 54%. than it is today when inflation is 3.7%. That is inflation went to 54% under your watch.
Thank you. Honorable members, we turn to question 331. Question 331, and it stands in the name of Honorable Mark Kwesiedu Oforikrum. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I have the authority of the member.
Honorable, go ahead.
I rise to ask the Minister for Finance the quantity of gold bought by the Gold Board, the source of supply, quantity bought from licensed small-scale miners, and the amount spent on the purchasing of gold. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, let me state from the outset that the Ghana Gold Board is a strategic arm of our nation's macroeconomic recovery, anchored on foreign exchange mobilization and anti-smuggling architecture. The Ghana Gold Board Act 1140-2025, stipulates that its purpose is to bring our gold trade out of the shadows, formalize supply, and ensure that Ghana captures the value that used to leak out through smuggling and fragmented trading channels. Mr. Speaker, available reports, including from Reuters, indicates that Ghana lost about $11.4 billion between 2019 and 2023 through gold smuggling. The Gold Board is gradually reversing this bleeding. Mr. Speaker, on the source of supply, Gold Board supply comes from two principal channels. First, the artisanal and small-scale mining sector, and second, the large-scale mining companies. Mr. Speaker, the Gold Board purchases and aggregates gold principally from the artisanal and small-scale mining sector through licensed buyers operating under the Gold Board licensing regime. As of 31st May 2026, Gold Board had licensed a total of 1,184 buyers, including 2 aggregators, 67 self-financing aggregators, 736 Tier 2 buyers, and 379 Tier 1 buyers. Under the terms and conditions of their licenses, these buyers are required to purchase gold exclusively from licensed miners for onward sale to the Gold Board. Mr. Speaker, from January 2025 to May 2026, the Gold Board purchased a total of 135.843 metric tons of gold, of which 135.221 metric tons were sourced from artisanal and small-scale mining sector. Mr. Speaker, last year, 2025, the Gold Board cumulatively purchased, aggregated, and exported ASM gold totaling 104 metric tons, which generated in excess of 10 billion United States dollars for the country. This singular achievement of the Gold Board was critical in the appreciation of the Ghana cedi by about 41% against the US dollar in 2025, and in increasing foreign reserves from about $8.98 billion in December 2024 to $13.8 billion by end of December 2025, among others. Mr. Speaker, from January 2025 to May 2026, the Gold Board expended approximately $16.1 billion on the purchase of gold, of which $9.8 billion was used between January and December 2025. Mr. Speaker, the bigger policy point is that government is deliberately shifting Ghana from a regime where gold wealth was dispersed, underpriced, and smuggled through the Gold Board. We have a regime where gold is transparently aggregated, assayed, refined, exported, and turned into foreign exchange and reserves for the Republic, with visible and tangible benefits for the entire country. Mr. Speaker, to enhance regulatory compliance and sustainability, the Ghana Gold Board strengthen its collaboration with the National Anti-Illegal Mining Operations Secretariat to address illegal mining. Mr. Speaker, I want to emphasize that the Gold Board is not just about buying gold. It is about capturing Ghana's gold for Ghana's balance sheet, Ghana's reserves, and Ghana's economic sovereignty. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes. Honourable Member, any supplementary question?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Speaker, flowing from the Minister's response, page 55. Mr. Speaker, aye. Mr. Speaker, on the source of supply, Gold Board supplies come from two principal channels. First, the artisanal and the small-scale sector, and the second, the large-scale mining. The Speaker, in the response, when you go further, you notice that the Minister's response provides that, the Speaker, from January 2025 to May 2026, the Gold Board purchased a total of 135.843 metric tons of gold, of which 135.22 metric tons were sourced from artisanal and small-scale sector. Mr. Speaker,
so the question is
now, Mr. Speaker, it's clear that the Minister did not state the amount of gold that was sourced from the large-scale mining companies. And I'm asking if he would provide that response for them, because the answer is clear. Two sources, you only mention one source. So how many golds are purchased from the large-scale mining companies? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. The greater chunk of the gold that Gold Board purchased was from the ASM sector. The amount from the large-scale mining sector was very small. I can get the figure for you in just a couple of minutes. It's public records. Thank you.
Very well. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, clearly from the entire response, the Minister did not state the amount spent on the purchase of the gold. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If he can tell us how much was spent in the purchase of gold. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, this information too can be provided. I don't have it readily available, but I can get that amount for that figure for the House. Thank you.
Very well. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Minister stated in his response, Mr. Speaker, available reports, including from Reuters, indicate that Ghana lost about 11.4 billion between 2019 and 2023 through gold smuggling. Mr. Speaker, I want to find out if this report, which report is the Minister referring to, and has this report come to your House for any committee as such to be assigned to verify the veracity of this report that is being referred to here by the Minister? Thank you.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Minister, Reuters' report is in the news. That can be verified and provided. But I have the figure for the earlier question he asked. And so, if you don't mind, we spent $16.11 billion for the purchase of the gold between January 2025 to May 2026. The figure is 16.11 billion United States dollars.
Thank you very much. Yes. Yes. You've done your... Yes, I saw Honourable Member for... Yes. Kwabri East. Okay, fine. Mention South, yes.
Mr. Speaker, from paragraph 4 of the minister's answer found at page 57. Mr. Speaker, he states as follows, and if I may take the liberty to read. Mr. Speaker, page 57, paragraph 4. Mr. Speaker, the bigger policy point is that government is deliberately shifting Ghana from a regime where gold wealth was dispersed, underpriced, and smuggled. Through the gold board, we have a regime where gold is transparently aggregated, assayed, refined, exported, and turned into foreign exchange and reserves for the Republic, with visible and tangible benefits for the entire country. Mr. Speaker, we all know that the saying of gold, as from the question, from the answer.
So let me hear your question.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the question is that with a saying of gold comes the determination of pricing of gold, particularly with the benefit of the world market price. So, Mr. Speaker, in the light of this answer, how would the minister explain the losses at the gold board in the light of this answer?
Well, yes.
Mr. Speaker, there are no losses at the gold board. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, please, when a question is asked, at times I can just say it is not, but I would prefer the minister to actually respond. If like the way he has responded, then. But you said you yielded yours. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, from the minister's answer. Mr. Speaker, from the minister's answer, 99.5% of the gold board purchases were done by small-scale artisanal miners. I want to ask the minister, what mechanism is gold board using to ensure that these small-scale artisanal miners are not indulging in galamsey? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister, did you get the question?
Mr. Speaker, my question is, from the minister's answer, 99.5% of the gold that gold board bought was from small-scale artisanal miners. I'm asking, what mechanisms has gold board employed to ensure that these artisanal miners, small-scale artisanal miners, are not indulging in galamsey? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Well, yes.
Mr. Speaker, Gold Board goes through a strict process to license buyers, and they have their conditions they need to meet to ensure that they source the gold from companies that have mined responsibly. In addition to this, currently, Gold Board is going through a national competitive tendering process to procure a nationwide gold traceability and tracking system that will be deployed across the entire country to ensure that the gold that Gold Board purchases are traceable and that they are mined responsibly. So a lot of interventions are going in to ensure that we protect the environment and we mine responsibly. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. From Ofoyukrom, we go to Dwabing. Please. We go to Dwabing. Honorable Francis Kwabena Bimpong Usuechan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Finance the last time the ministry paid mineral royalty to the Minerals Development Fund.
Well. Yes. Maswell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I can confirm that the most recent payment to the Minerals Development Fund was 100 million cedis, which was made on the 3rd of June 2026. In addition to this, government transferred a total amount of 302.5 million Ghana cedis between January and May 2026 bringing the total transferred to the Minerals Development Fund this year alone to 402.4 million Ghana cedis. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Usechano.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I just want to find out from the minister that this payment has been made in 2026. Is it that 2026 payment or this payment is for 2025?
Minister, did you get a question? Whether the payment is in respect of 2025 or for the 2026 calendar year?
Mr. Speaker, I would have to check. These are payments we have made this year. As to whether some part of the payment were those that accrued in 2025 that were transferred this year, that is information I'll have to get back to you. The question was to find out when was the last time we made payment to the Minerals Development Fund. That is why we provided a recent, and we went further to add all those transfers we've made this year. But we can reconcile and show which ones were meant for 2025, if there were any outstanding payments to Minerals Development Fund. These can be verified. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. We turn to question 468. Question 468. Oh, you wanted to ask? I thought the answer was.
I wanted to find out when can we get these details, because when can we get these details? The details of the question I asked. He said, Mr. Speaker, the minister said that he will provide that those informations later.
Okay.
And I wanted to find out from the minister when.
Mr. Speaker, anytime you file another question, but if you want it privately, by close of day today, I can furnish that information to you. Thank you.
Well. Yes, Onyina, let's come to you, Kwabri East.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to ask the Minister for Finance the plans of the ministry to address cocoa board payment challenges to license buying companies, especially during the months of February to September. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, government has adopted a set of reforms that will address the recurrent delay in payment to LBCs. These include, 1, a new financing model that uses domestic financing arrangements to finance cocoa purchases. This new financing arrangement will be structured in a way to ensure sufficient liquidity to LBCs throughout the year. 2, a new cocoa board bill to be laid before this House, which will, among others, propose the prohibition of cocoa board from undertaking quasi-fiscal expenditures. These expenditures have derailed cocoa board finances and affected its core functions, such as cocoa purchases. For instance, in December 2024, while cocoa board was paying for cocoa roads, LBCs were owed for cocoa delivered to cocoa board, some of which dates back to 2022. Mr. Speaker, we believe that the adoption of a new financing model and the discipline imposed by the new cocoa board bill will address the yearly delays in payment to LBCs. Mr. Speaker, let me add that between 2017 and 2023, cocoa board typically used the syndicated loan to
Honourable members, please, we brought the minister here to respond to us. So I think it's befitting that we give him a hearing. The noise in the chamber is too much, please.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much. Let me add that between 2017 and 2023, cocoa board typically used the syndicated loan to finance cocoa purchases and quasi-fiscal activities such as cocoa roads. However, when the syndicated loan was exhausted, the previous managers of cocoa board resorted to additional borrowing from the domestic market through the issuance of expensive cocoa bills to finance the cocoa purchase. This appetite for borrowing led to unsustainable debt at Cocoa Board, resulting in the default on the servicing of the cocoa bills in 2023. Mr. Speaker, we will not repeat past reckless mistakes. This government is committed to restoring the finances of Cocoa Board and placing it on a sustainable path. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Honorable Nyina.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, let me ask the Finance Minister, what's wrong with the current financing model of forward trading that is warranting the new bill, and with the new bill, won't the farmers be exposed to the harsh vagaries of the world market prices? I said, you got the first part of the question. So the second part is, with the new model, won't the farmers, the cocoa farmers, be exposed to the harsh vagaries of the world market price?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, the syndicated loan served us quite well, as I said in one of the questions earlier, that over 32 years, that is what Cocoa Board relied on in the purchasing of cocoa. But since that failed, Cocoa Board then resorted to getting buyers to pre-finance the purchases of cocoa. And at that time, because the arrangement was that the forward sale locked in a lower price and the actual price was way above, around 8,000, the appetite was there. When the gap narrowed, they chickened out and they were not then sending money for the purchase of cocoa. That is a challenge that we faced since February. And so the arrangement today is that we mobilize resources internally and use it to purchase the cocoa. That will be in the best interest. But when the bill is brought here and the new arrangement is brought, you will see that, among others, government is committing that 70% of FOB price should be paid directly to farmers. So farmers will be better off in the new arrangement because we are raising the funds locally, and we'll have the flexibility to give a lot of the beans to our processing companies that have huge installed capacity but are not able to process the beans today because of the purchasing arrangements. And so rest assured that this arrangement will be in the best interest of the cocoa farmer. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yes, Onyina.
Mr. Speaker, when Cocoa Board delays payment, LBCs are exposed to finance cost that goes beyond the agreed 21-day period. Per this new arrangement, is Cocoa Board going to reimburse the LBCs on the extra days that, if there are delays, will Cocoa Board reimburse the LBCs on the extra finance costs that they incur from their operations due to Cocoa Board delays? Thank you.
Yes, Honorable Minister.
Mr. Speaker, it is expected that the new arrangement will not cause any delay because we will not be waiting for buyers to bring money before we send to LBCs to pay cocoa farmers. We are sourcing the financing locally through the issuance of a commercial paper. So once we raise the funds, it will be paid to LBCs promptly to purchase the cocoa. And so that is the arrangement. And I stated earlier that in the few coming weeks, that arrangement will be placed before this House, and honorable members will have opportunity to interrogate it and also make input to perfect it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. We move to question 531, and that is from a member, Honorable Martin Kwakwaje Mensah-Kosa, Tejima South.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise to ask the Minister for Finance when government intends to roll out its intended Women Development Bank project, which received a 50 million allocation in the 2025 budget. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As the honorable member confirmed, 51.3 million Ghana cedis was allocated for this intervention in 2025. In addition, government in 2026 budget set aside 450 million for this initiative. Mr. Speaker, I can confirm that a lot of preparatory works have been done. On 26th of January 2026, the company WDB Ghana Limited was incorporated. Government has subsequently applied to the Bank of Ghana for the license to operate the Women's Development Bank. I wish to assure the House, the honorable members, and the House that the Minister for Finance will give full update on this intervention as part of the mid-year fiscal policy review scheduled for next month, July. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Yeah, Honorable Jameson.
Mr. Speaker, quite worryingly, it's obvious that this answer prevents me from proceeding further. But the worrying thing, Mr. Speaker, is that this is a question that has been filed since a year, nearly, 14th of July 2025. I'm not able to tell what the scope of the minister's updates on this would be. Mr. Speaker, in the case that I don't get these answers, then it means that the question still doesn't get answered. Mr. Speaker, a policy that receives budgetary allocations, one would have thought that there ought to have been some idea of operational dates, some operational
Minister,
modalities.
Honorable.
Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Martin.
Mr. Speaker, I'm only saying that I hope that the scope of the updates would be all-encompassing and answer the lingering questions.
Well, well.
This policy concerns our constituents.
Well, well.
They are asking. Mr. Speaker, can I proceed?
Yeah, just ask the question, please.
It's a worrying matter. Over a year's question.
Minister,
I still cannot have the minister to answer.
Just ask the question.
Well, thank you. I hope that the minister's questions
well. So, honorable, we turn to the last question, 534. 534. That is from Techima South. We are now coming to Accra Central. Accra Central. Yes, Honorable Charles Forson.
Speaker, I have related to the member, and to that effect, I want to come under Order 92. And as it were, seek your leave to withdraw the question accordingly.
Well, honorable members, the application is hereby admitted. We've approved the application and the question is hereby withdrawn. So, Honorable Minister, on behalf of the House, we thank you for attending upon the House, your own colleagues, to respond to their questions. We are so grateful and we are hereby discharged. Yes.
Speaker, may I pray that we vary the order of business to lay some papers before we take the statements listed under item number 7. Let's lay the papers.
Go ahead. Go ahead with the lay. Go ahead with the lay.
Item number 8A and B. Page 7.
Haven't we done that?
And then you've done no.
We've laid all the papers.
Okay. Then the statements.
But my colleague should be grateful to us. My good friend should be grateful to us. In fact, we have ensured that all these papers have been laid. All the papers have been laid, right from 8A. Chief Whip. You see, he won't listen. All your papers have been laid. And from 8A, B, C, D, and even E. You should be thanking us. relate to Honorable Charles Forson, and he will let you know the support we have given to you today. Anyway, so that we should be proceeding.
Thank you. So, honorable members, I will thank you and cede the seat to the first deputy speaker to continue. But meanwhile, leadership, yes, guide us.
Speaker, we want to take the motion of rescission in respect of the GIPC bill. Yes, it is.
My friend, oh, we will cooperate when we have to. Speaker, my colleague should give us a guide, and he knows, he understands this work so well. Give us a guide how you want to navigate. Then we can follow and support you. You are picking and choosing. You go and mention item 10 and you move to item 44. I mean, it's in quite a confused manner. You are going to 48 now. Then after that, you move to where? You should just give us a pattern, then we can follow.
Speaker, I gave an indication. The Honorable Ano himself has reminded the House that all the items I indicated have been laid. Now I'm saying that we should take item number 42. Again, he says, I'm guiding you in a methodical manner. Relax.
Honourable members, the agreement is to take item number 42. Is it 42 or 48? Is motion number 42? Yes.
Speaker, now the chair had subsequently informed leadership that it is their pleasure that this business is taken tomorrow. Yes, that's what he said to me before he left the chamber. And I'm sure the ranking member can confirm that. But if it is the pleasure of your side that you want to go ahead, I mean, this is not harmful.
We can take the motion and defer the consideration to tomorrow.
Yeah, but he did not communicate that to us.
The motion is 42 and the consideration is 43. And we are talking about 42. So 43 will require the presence of the chairman. But 42 is a motion in the name of the minister.
Speaker, in this house, we must always help you to guide the house. And he is calling the business. And I'm saying, if it is the intent that he wants to take the motion and then the consideration will be taken later on, or the question will not be put, then he must say so that we follow duly. That's all I'm saying.
Speaker, with all due respect to my brother, the indication is to take motion number 42. I haven't hinted of taking 43 consequentially. So let's take 42. When the rescission decision is taken, then yes, exactly. But so let's take 42.
Motion number 42. Minister responsible for finance.
Speaker, the Honourable Minister for Finance is unavoidably absent. Today's cabinet, and so the deputy, today's cabinet, they are in cabinet as we speak. So the deputy has been here, is a member, has been on the floor, he's done a lot of business. I pray that he takes this on behalf of his boss. I thank you.
Well, he got up to do it anyway without. Oh yes, I saw him. He has been doing all the business of the finance minister, so it will be most unfair for me to oppose. So you go ahead and do it. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that this House resigns its decision taken on Thursday, 26 March 2026, in respect of the third reading of the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority Bill 2025. I so move, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker.
Yes.
Background.
Yes.
This has become necessary because of the inadvertent omission of some clauses that were supposed to be taken. Mr. Speaker, if you recall, during the referral to the committee and subsequent consideration by the committee, there were a lot of amendments proposed by the committee, and so we were of the opinion that the bill should be withdrawn and relayed. But we were advised that if we did that, it had to go through the entire process again. And so we should go ahead and consider the original bill as was laid in the House. In the process, we omitted some of the clauses that the committee had raised, some of the amendments. And so this came to light subsequently. And so we humbly appeal that we resign the decision and take it through another consideration stage to be able to, for us to be able to incorporate the relevant omissions. Thank you.
Motion ably moved. Any seconder?
Speaker, I rise to second the motion.
Honourable members, motion moved and seconded, and it is for the consideration of the House. Honourable members, in the absence of any consideration, I will put a question. As many as are in favor of the motion for rescission, say aye. Aye. Those against, say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. The motion for rescission is accordingly adopted. Now, the Ghana Investment Promotion Authority Bill 2025 is at consideration stage. Yes.
Speaker, may I propose that we take just a couple of the provisions and then we can come back tomorrow and finish it. Let's take just a couple of the provisions and then. Is in the order paper, please. Check. Please. Can I? Let me. I beg you. Wait. Speaker, the advertised amendments are featured on page 32, 33, and 34 of today's order paper. But gauging the sense of the House, my prayer is that we take just a couple. Then tomorrow we can come and finish. I don't because oh, can you please? So we are just praying to take just a couple of the provisions and then we come and take the rest tomorrow. Mr. Speaker, that's my prayer to my brother across the divide.
John, are you going?
We have engaged, and we have agreed that we'll take just a couple.
Speaker, you see, this element of surprise is what I've always been speaking against. Nobody is here to hold you to ransom or delay or frustrate government business. Just a while ago, I had inquired from my colleague, and he said, no, I have not talked about consequential business of consideration. I am only interested in rescission. There was clarity in his statement. Suddenly, he said, okay, let's take a couple. Now, after a couple, he will say, let's take one more clause. After one more clause, he will say, let's do another clause. No, I submit strongly the chair related to me before he left the chamber. He said, and Speaker, I winked at you, and then, there was some exchange between, then I asked him to come and talk to you. The chairman is not here. There are only few amendments you want to incorporate. Between now and tomorrow, what will go wrong?
Honorable Honorable, in view of the fact that the maze has been tilted to bring this particular bill at consideration stage, if possible, we can do one clause and defer the rest to tomorrow.
Check. Speaker. John, what do you jump? Speaker, with respect to you,
so
the tilting of the
now,
maze, the tilting of the maze has no consequence.
So if you we take the rescission motion and bring the bill to a consideration stage, then we defer the consideration stage.
Consideration, we want members to make informed input. And look at the advertised amendment. There are not too many. I am just humbly saying that to the extent that the leadership of the committee is not here, and the leadership had communicated, giving prior notification of their willingness to ensure that we make these amendments. Because nothing will go wrong if we take this, we do it tomorrow. But if it is a pleasure of our colleagues, you want to insist, fine. We will just observe, go ahead and do it as you wish.
Speaker, for the records, we are not insisting. We are negotiating. That's how we do this work. We consult. Speaker, just a while ago, my brother was the one belaboring the point that there are a lot of advertised items that continue to persist on the order paper that we don't take. So if we have an opportunity to lessen the burden, I believe that, yes, it's important. So my prayer is that we take just a couple, 1, 2, 3, and then we leave it there. Tomorrow, the numbers that will come and take in respect of the advertised amendments will be less than those that will discharge today. So I plead with you, my brother. So Speaker, let's take the first 3 and then we can, don't wash your hands, I beg you.
Speaker, we want to show patriotism. They are pushing us to cooperate. So we will agree that we'll do a clause, and then tomorrow we will finish it.
Honorable members, this is a house of record. This is a house of record. Honorable Minority Whip, this is a house of record. If an item or a business is advertised on the order paper to be done for that day, why do we have to negotiate again?
May I?
Yes.
Somebody's mic is on. Somebody's mic is on. Yes, Speaker, you asked a very important question. And if I may answer from my little experience in this house. So if you look at the order paper for today, quite voluminous. Practice has shown that it is not all the business that are advertised that eventually gets taken because of exigencies of issues that come up. For instance, let me give you a typical example. Yesterday, we had 3 statements admitted and advertised. Only 2 were taken, with the understanding that today we'll take the other one. We've not been able to take it, but we are ready to make a compromise. We are ready to make a compromise. The honorable member is ready to make a compromise. That is why we were not pushing for any of those statements to be taken, but to make sure that you lay all the papers that are public business. So we are not compelled to negotiate necessarily. But we are saying that to the extent that the context in which this business was taken, we took it, a reason has come up that we had to rescind and begin the process again. And there has been good communication from the leadership of the committee. That is why, Speaker, I'm only saying that we engage. It is not a negotiation in its meaning as we are negotiating.
Yes,
but we are just engaging
in
to
that
get an
case,
understanding.
we normally defer to the leader of government business.
Speaker, that's fine. They can proceed.
Or is that not the case?
Yes, Speaker.
We defer to the leader of government business. For the leader of government business to pick and choose.
I'm not the leader of government business. I am not.
Speaker, I believe that let's take the couple of the first three. A couple. Yes, I said a couple of the advertised amendments. Then we can take the statements and then we can adjourn for the day, Mr. Speaker. Humbly submitted.
Item numbered 43, Ghana Investment Promotion Authority Bill 2025 at consideration stage. Clause 4.
Functions of the authority.
Chairman of the committee.
Right Honorable Speaker, clause 4, amendment proposed, paragraph Q, land 2. After agreement, delete which entered into force on 30th May 2019. I so move, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, the proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee is for the consideration of the House.
Speaker, I rise to support the amendment.
Honorable members, I'll put a question. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Now, I'll put a question on entire clause 4. As many as are in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 4 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 29.
Annual report and other reports.
Chairman of the committee.
Clause 29, amendment proposed, subclause 1, line 1. Delete authority and insert board. I so move.
Honorable members, the proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee is for the consideration of the House. I'll put a question. Those in favor of the proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee is ordered to stand part of the bill. Now, I'll put a question on entire clause 29 in absence of any further amendment. Those in favor say aye. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 29 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 43.
Dispute resolution procedures.
Yes, Chairman of the committee.
Clause 43, amendment proposed, subclause 10. The closing phrase, delete office of the president and insert minister. I so move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for the consideration of the House. Any further amendment?
Speaker, I rise to support the present amendment.
Honourable members, I'll put a question on the proposed amendment. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Now I'll put a question on entire clause 43 in the absence of any further amendment. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Clause 43 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 44.
Establishment of an investor grievance mechanism.
Chairman of the committee.
Clause 44, amendment proposed. Subclause 2, line 3, after 2, delete arbitration and insert a dispute resolution procedure. Also move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for the consideration of the House. Any further amendment? In the absence of any further amendment, I'll put a question on the proposed amendment. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Now, I'll put a question on entire clause 44 in the absence of any further amendment. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Clause 44 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Clause 55.
Offences and penalties.
Chairman of the committee.
Clause 55, all right, Honourable Speaker. Amendment proposed. Subclause 1, paragraphs A to D. Delete and insert the following paragraphs. A, let and sublet a store or a store in a market to a foreigner for an activity relating to trading, or B, contravenes a provision of this act for which a penalty is not specified except for section 50. I so move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for the consideration of the House. Any further amendment? I'll put a question on the chairman's amendment. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee is ordered to stand part of the bill. Now I'll put a question on entire clause 55. Very well. Let's do amendment VI. I may move amendment VI, also on clause 55. Hello, Chairman. You may move VI in clause 55. Page
Right,
33.
Honourable Speaker, clause 55 VI.
Yes.
Amendment proposed. Subclause 4, line 5. Delete 1 and insert 2. I so move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for your consideration. I'll put the question. Those in favor of the amendment proposed by the chairman of the committee say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Now the question on entire clause 55. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Clause 55 is ordered to stand part of the bill. Yes, Majority Leader.
Speaker, I indicated that we'll take a couple and then we can, but I think that the sense of the House is that let's finish. We only have one amendment one amendment in respect of one provision to consider, which is clause 59. So let's finish it, my brother. We'll do the statement. I give you my word.
Clause 59.
Interpretation.
Chairman of the committee.
Under 59, we have various amendments proposed.
Yes, VII.
Yeah, VII amendment proposed. After interpretation for capital, insert the following definition for citizen. Citizen means a citizen of Ghana. I so moved.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for your consideration. Any further amendment? I'll put a question. Those in favor of the amendment proposed by the chairman of the committee say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Chairman, VIII.
Clause 59 VIII, amendment proposed. After interpretation for board, insert the following definition for branch. Branch means a fixed place of business in Ghana other than the head office or registered office established by an enterprise registered under this act, through which the enterprise wholly or partly carries on the business of the enterprise, and which does not constitute a separate legal entity from the enterprise. I so move.
Honourable members, the proposed amendment is for your consideration. Any further amendment? In the absence of any further amendment, I'll put a question. Those in favor of the proposed amendment by the chairman of the committee say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. The proposed amendment is ordered to stand part of the bill. Chairman, 59IX.
Clause 59IX, amendment proposed. Delete interpretation for constitution. I so move.